So, Alex, a 1-0 defeat in the FA Trophy to Bridlington Town. Game decided in the first 50 seconds. I guess disappointing to concede so early. Thoughts on the game as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, spent 3 hours getting here and then we conceded the first minute. It's ridiculous. And I think the defence know, Finn knows, it's not good enough, that goal, in any way, shape or form. It's something we spoke about. It's the last thing I mentioned before we get out. Don't have a line too high with the wind, and the striker constantly wants to get in behind, and that's what we did. Didn't track the runner, and it's a goal. And I'd like to think I'd like to say then, it'd be hard to say that we're an uphill battle after that. I don't think it were an uphill battle after that. I genuinely think for the next 90 minutes after that, especially the first 15 after that, that was superb. I thought we've had another cleared off line within that first 15. Reece has had a really good opportunity in the 6-yard box where he's just not managed to really get a clean effort off. And then I think for the rest of that half, I thought we were well and truly in the game. We sort of struggled a little bit adapting with their two in middle, but we then changed shape, and I thought we then got at them again. And I thought we were really unfortunate to coming up 1-0. The only thing that we were really disappointed about that first half performance, I just don't think we had that belief. I don't think we had that element of urgency and purpose at times, and it weren't like with the ball were going into an area and we were hesitant as to whether or not we were going to go and get on it. What we then did in the second half, we weren't hesitant and we weren't thinking whether or not shall I, shan't I. We showed a lot more purpose, a lot more urgency. And how that one of Isaac's not gone in, I've absolutely no idea. It's another one cleared offline, and I keep saying it. I completely, a lot of people might think I'm just talking nonsense. But how's that not gone in?
You said a couple of weeks ago, I think, following a defeat a couple of weeks ago, you'd said sometimes it's urgency and sometimes it's not. We have to look at ourselves with some of the goal line clearances, but that's probably the best goal line clearance I've ever seen. He's just headed it off the line.
I think we've had another one like 5 minutes before that, haven't we? Where it's a recovering defender, which is probably a more simple one, but Isaac's taking it on the turn, it's put it in the top corner. It's on the top, because in the top corner, and he's headed it over the bar. He's not headed it on the underside of it. So for me, I thought I was really proud of the second half performance. I think the subs came on and made a massive difference, and that's really pleasing. It's pleasing for two aspects. It's pleasing to know we've got the depth of players, but it's also pleasing to know that the attitude is superb. And I think the attitude is, they're enjoying this win, aren't they? But it's the attitude, I think the attitude of the lads that are coming on, knowing full well they're hungry and that they're ready to come on. I thought the subs were absolutely unreal. I don't know, we've not got out of it, I'll be fair with you.
Look, we have played well, and there's been chances, and I think you nailed it there. The 15 minutes, you've criticised us a couple of times, reactions to goals.
Yeah.
Last weekend you were positive, and the way that we reacted to the goal today, we were unlucky not to equalise within the first 15 after. And obviously coming out of the FA Trophy today, sometimes it's difficult to take positives, but your positives are on the pitch, but also your biggest one today is probably Mason getting minutes coming off, and he looked really sharp and made things happen when he came on as well.
Yeah, so we trained. We trained last week with one of the main intentions of training last week was ensuring that we got injured players back, and it worked. And I thought Mason coming on really sort of changed how we play in some respects, but it can't all be him. That's the thing; it can't all be him, and that's where I was really disappointed for the first 45, especially that we have so much ability to go and get on the ball, and we're changing a style of play that we've done that we showed in August, and we've changed that past couple of weeks. And it's intentional because we didn't at that moment we didn't have the players to be able to play the way in which we want to play. Now we have got the players that we want to play. We need them to start believing that there's urgency and purpose of how we play and what we want to do and where we want to be in certain areas. And they've got to try. And we've got to try and make sure that we're the one that's going to be a match winner. And I think there's two things that probably demonstrate the best was in the last minute of the first half, the ball seems to be going out of play and Ob stops and it didn't go out of play. But it's that little bit of belief that when we're on, we're chasing down absolutely everything. And I knew at that moment that we probably lacked a bit of belief. And the second one's in the 92nd where we've turned a shot down. We've chatted about it, and I think the disappointing part of that's probably turning the shot down. And we knew we were going to get a chance in the last 6, and that was his chance. So whether either Umar takes it and goes for goal and shoots, and G gets the rebound maybe, or G takes a touch and bang. But it's not falling for you at times, and it's frustrating, it's disappointing. But there's a huge amount of positives. They'll be up there in their league. There's no two ways around it. I mean, they are the unbeaten, great defensive record. And they're decent at what they do, and they've got some really good quality, but we're more than matched them. We more than put them on the back foot as well. I think that's the thing. We've sort of come here and we've put them on the back foot. The difference is they took the chance and we didn't.
And we've got, obviously, league games coming up, Withenshaw Town away next weekend, and just we've talked a lot about the fixtures we've had so far, and we've not been out of any game. We've not been well beaten by anyone. We've always been in the game. It's just been that little bit of quality or not scoring a goal like today. There's loads that you can build on in terms of it is a long season and there's a lot of football to come for us, and the positives are there out on the pitch today with things happening.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. I think there's enormous amounts of positives, but for me, you can't. And one thing we've just talked about, and then we can't just think it's going to come. And what we're lacking at times isn't ability. It's not pace. It's not sort of defensive resilience. It's nothing like that we lack at times. They're probably the purpose and the belief. That's probably the thing that we do lack. The bit of a swagger about it, a bit of arrogance. I'm going to win my battle against you. And I think that, especially the first half, I think there were probably too many that were a bit in the shell and not necessarily doing what they should do to the best of their ability. Probably an example would be Isaac. It's so good, quick passing range. Probably 2 or 3 of them passes that we rely on to open the attack up and play the attack weren't on it. It's a colossal second half. We just can't let 45 minutes bypass us, and that's probably the biggest learning from today. It's not ability, it's probably belief and sort of trying to be the one that I'm going to go win the match and just having that swagger and that arrogance about you.
And the best way to finish today is probably, obviously you can hear their fans in the background having a good time from a win, but we've travelled in numbers to a big game today, further away, and the fans were brilliant today. Travelled in numbers, they've had no fair share of problems getting here as well, but made a lot of noise and got behind the team all the way through the game.
There's no better, to be honest with you, from an away day, there's no better feeling looking at the side of other than winning obviously, but there's no better sort of sight when you look to behind the goal that we're attacking and we see a full end, and that full end's full of either people that have made a weekend of it and spent their hard-earned money making a weekend of it, those that have travelled, the families that have travelled, but for those that have come on the coach today that broke down near Leeds to then have to wait the 2 hours to have their day disrupted, I'm devastated for them that we've not been able to get to get a goal and something to cheer about and then get a result here and move on to the next round. But it's amazing, and I think probably from every away game that we've seen, especially Darlington last week, the amount of fans we're taking is phenomenal because we haven't started incredibly well result-wise, but the backing that we're getting from fans and we can hear them, and we just need to return that favour with performances and return that favour with making sure that we appreciate what they're doing for us. And I like to think at some point we'll stop getting that blooming ball cleared off the line. But yeah, I just want to say a massive thank you to the fans that have travelled, especially those that have had the day disrupted with the coach breaking down. But yeah, we'll see. We'll pick it up. And the amount of numbers we can hopefully take to Withenshaw Town next week will help us. It supports us. It drives us. So I'll be really thankful for that, and I know the lads are as well.
Thanks, Alex.
Cheers, Ethan.